Do you think we should get like an intro announcer, like on The Price is Right, like Roddy? Like,
Yeah.
here.
Johnny.
Nope. You never seen Johnny. You could add something to it though.
Isn't that what in The Shining? Doesn't he go here?
Yeah, actually
Johnny.
acts as the door open to try and get to Shelley, what's her name,
Yeah.
well.
Does that fit?
I mean, different context for sure. Now, that's taken obviously from Ed McMahon and the Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that comes from. You heard about the Tonight Show, right?
Yes, I've heard about the Tonight Show.
Johnny Carson's passed away.
Okay.
Just getting it out of the way.
Okay. I didn't know that, but wouldn't be surprising to me.
He died in like the 90s, early 2000s. He's been gone for a while.
Yeah. He was already older.
Oh, crazy old. Yeah. All right. So question today. How do I word this so it doesn't sound rude? What are things that you immediately... I've got two questions today. We'll talk about this one first.
Okay.
What are things that you immediately judge other parents about? And how do you deal with it if your child and their child are quite close?
Oh, I see where you're going with that one. Maybe. I was going to say I don't, just because of the work that I do. I see everybody's trying. But as I say that, no, I am judgy when it comes to...
Here it comes. I can't wait.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know, but use names.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I don't know. That's why I asked. I'm curious.
Do I seem judgy to you?
No, but I'm on the edge of my seat. This is going to be amazing.
Okay.
Unless it's directed at me, in which case we're done the episode.
No, it's for when kids are being screamed at and yelled at. And for me, that's the big one where I'm like, whoa. And a lot of the kids that I work with, and it's usually not my families ever, because I know that they're there and they are trying to get support and things like that. But like when I'm out in the community and parents are losing their mind on their kids, or just, kid makes one little mistake and they get a strip torn off of them and the kid's like, I'm sorry. And, and their parents like, those are the stories that always make me cry. And
100%.
I'm always, my dream is to start a center, like a huge building where kids can just come and teens can just come and be, and not have to worry about people on their backs, nagging them about stuff, or just feeling like they can't do anything good enough. But for me, that would be the biggest one where I'm like, I just want to go, I'm always saying, I just want to swoop them up into my arms, like into my wings, and bring them home and love them and tell them they're awesome. And I want you to make mistakes. And I think for me, that's it. It's just kids who are getting a strip torn off of them. Yeah.
Interesting. Mine's smoking in cars.
Yeah.
If I see you lighting to smoke anywhere near your kids, you're trailer trash. I don't care who you are. That stuff drives me nuts. But I agree with this. Like the poor treatment of kids 100%. So how do you, or I guess the question is, have you seen that with our kid groups? And I want to make a very distinct difference here. I'm not talking about
our friends.
No, I'm not talking about our friends. But what I mean is every parent loses their cool. It happens.
Absolutely.
It happens.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking about the one time that someone was like looking at their kid like the kid is just not whatever. It happens. We all lose our cool. We all snap at the kids. I'm talking about consistently you've seen poor behavior or poor attitude around kids with a parent. Have you had to experience that where the kids played together or were together, and how did you deal with it?
So sorry.
So saying that the poor treatment of kids is your thing, how do you deal with that if it happens? Like you realize that the parent of a friend of our kid is that type of person.
Right. I mean, I see it in some of the families that I work with, but then I'm working with them.
Yeah.
Through that, right? It does get frustrating though when I say respond this way, and they don't change how, and then they're like, none of the behaviors are changing. I'm like, because we have to change how we behave first. Our kids' behaviors are never going to change. we have to change how we respond to them first, right? So that makes me frustrated when they're always blaming the kid, right? It's the kid's is the problem of the family. Every other time though, and I think this is why I'm stuck on this question, Andy, is because it's usually a one-time deal when I'm out in the community and see a parent screaming at their kid or something, right? So consistently with like I don't get involved, if that's what you mean. If it's one of my own friends or
maybe a different way to look at it is how would you respond if you witnessed it and got the feeling it wasn't an isolated incident? Yeah. So dropping the kids off for a birthday party. One of the parents is losing their mind.
I don't think I do. I don't think I would address it with the parents, because it's not my place ever to tell a parent how to parent, unless they're coming to me saying, Caroline, how do we parent? Then I will help guide them. I'm never telling them what to do.
Would you leave your kid at that party?
Here's the thing. If I see that happen in my children, I will 100% step up.
Yeah.
And be like, not cool. If there's an injustice. Well, I just remember the time my parents screamed at Willow because she had swam. So Maya and I, just to give context, Maya and I were out in the middle of the ocean looking for seals. So we were far out in a boat, and Willow had stayed behind with Grandma and Grandpa on the beach. Grandma and Grandpa decided to pack up everything. And so they had left, gone to the car, apparently told Willow to stay there on the beach, but she didn't. She decided she wanted to swim out to see Mommy. And she was like 4 or 5 years old.
Little.
No life jacket. And started swimming out. And I'm in the boat, and I thought I heard something, but not really. And then I'm like, no, someone's calling Mommy. So I'm looking around like, not my kid, until Maya's like, is that Willow? And I turn, and sure enough, it's Willow, halfway between the beach and us. And we are far out. And I can see my parents running down at the edge of the beach, yelling, right? Neither of them are going in the water, but she was like so far out herself anyway. So I'm like, what do I do? So I jumped out of the boat and started swimming because I figured that would be faster. I don't know if it was faster or not. I think I was also pulling the boat behind me because I didn't want to leave. Maya was still fairly little too. So she was paddling, I'm pulling, I'm swimming out to her. But Willow was happy. She's like, oh, Mommy, I saw you. Like, fortunately, she was so little that she's just so buoyant on the water. And she was a strong swimmer. She's always been a strong swimmer, but man, scary. And I come back to shore and they were both tearing a strip off her. I'm like, no, it was your responsibility to watch her. You can't tell a 5-year-old not to go swimming.
And then leave
her unattended. I know that they were scared. So that's the only time I've ever stood up. So I don't know if I'm not probably taking this down where you're hoping.
No. There is nowhere to go. It's just.
So I'm not a confronter. I don't confront. I will never tell another parent how to parent their child. I might soften it. Like if I hear a parent, let's say they drop a kid off at our place and they're stripping into their kid, I'm like, okay, let's go, kiddo. Like, let's go clean you up or whatever. I would I would always direct my attention to the child and make them feel welcomed and loved and everything's okay. And, let's go fix this. And so that's usually where my direction is. That at all?
Yeah. There's no wrong answer. I was just curious. So,
but is that even answering your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that answered my question. So what if one of the kids came home and reported to you that they thought that the parent was super mean and was yelling at them or someone else?
Well, I'm a mandatory reporter. So if I'm ever worried about child abuse, I have to report it.
Not necessarily. I'm not going to abuse, but I don't know. Just the parent doesn't click with the kids.
Yeah, it's not my place.
Even if it was your kid that came home and said it. They were super mean to me and they yelled at me at the party.
Yeah.
Would you try and follow up and just get...
I wouldn't.
Really?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah. What would you do?
Depends on the severity. If they came home really upset, I'd probably call the other parent and be like, hey, just want to get your side of what happened, right? Because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. And if it anywhere remotely leaned towards, yeah, you yelled at my kid for no reason. Yeah, the conversation would definitely shift 100%. Because then it's not about me telling them how to parent. It's me telling them, you don't parent my kid like that.
Right.
Right. If I'm not going to parent you on how to deal with your kids, you don't ever get to treat my kid like that.
I don't think we've ever been in that situation.
Yeah,
So,
we would.
have we?
Yeah. Willow's come home a couple of times and said, oh, so-and-so said such and such to me.
Oh, I can't think of any.
Nothing severe, like nothing that really warranted a follow-up, but it's occurred.
Oh.
It's occurred.
Okay.
But it's just, and there's no one particular person or event that occurred. It's just more of a curiosity of, how do you deal with that? So what do you do? Because the original question of what is the one thing you judge people on?
Mm-hmm.
Parents. I'm a judgmental person by nature. And I am, and I don't mean it as like, I love people watching. Like, it's one of my favorite things because people fascinate me, but I'm a judgmental person as well too. And I find I'm typically right, which is super narcissistic, but I am, right? Like, most people don't surprise me beyond my initial interaction. The only way I'm surprised is if they fortify my opinion, and that's good or bad. Like, I've met people that I thought were nice, and as I got to know them more and more, I found them to be fascinating and really nice and people I really liked, more so than I had initially interpreted or thought. Same goes for the other side, where you get a feeling from a person, hey, you kind of, I don't know if I like you. And then the more you talk, you're like, oh yeah, I definitely don't like you. So it's just, for me, that's just, I always have to be aware that I'm not being too judgmental, but it's just curious to me of what is the line that there's just no negotiation.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, you and I are similar in a way. Like, you're talking about the mistreatment of kids. I 100% agree with that. But I would go so far as to the subtle mistreatments of kids that society kind of just turns a blind eye to, like smoking in a car. Right. That drives me nuts.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, I can't think off the top of my head when that has happened. And so maybe it's, considering, do you go over there? And there is one person where, I'm not going to say exactly, but they live near us, who I just had a feeling about the parent just sort of creeped me out. So not mistreatment, not kind of what we're talking about.
Creeped everybody out.
And so I did make rules. You are not allowed in that house if that parent is home. Right. Yep. Like, that's just the rule. Or not, at least not when that's the only parent. Like, the other parent has to be there. No sleepovers. They can sleep over at our house. Like, that's the only time that I've made rules, but I still let them play because they were similar age as our girls. Yeah. But thank God, because we later found out he was a pedophile.
Sure was.
And so I'm just like, oh, that gut feeling. And I'm so easygoing. I give everyone the benefit of a doubt, but I just had this gut feeling of just, don't go over, don't hang out. They were great playing outside. They would often come to our house, and that's fine. And thank goodness. He
was weird from day one, though.
He was.
But you're absolutely right to trust your gut, because no man with a body like that should ever be shirtless as much as he was around children.
Yeah. And that close. And so fortunately ours were younger than what I think he kind of went towards at the time, but they were growing up. And anyway, but other than that, I can't think of a time where, if I did see something, I would step in. I just don't think I've ever been in the moment where I see something. If they come home and tell me about it, I probably wouldn't do anything, depending on what it was. If they're just being mean or yelled at them, like, well, there's not much I can do about that. So, but I got to say, like, all the friends that I can think of that our girls hang out with they're lovely parents. And
those are people I trust enough that I'm of the opinion of that they feel it's warranted to correct behavior. I'm okay with it, because I know it's going to be pretty spot on to what I would correct anyways. Mm-hmm. So in that instance, I've got no issue with that. Right. Yeah. We've got good friends that if they came home and said, hey dude, I had to tell your kid about it, I'd be like, yep, totally understand. We'll deal with it. Thanks. I think really what it comes down to, though, is there's got to be a trust level at the parents level to try and make it easier to have those conversations, to know that you can trust, right? Because we're friendly with some parents that I wouldn't be cool if they corrected my kid's behavior, right? That said, you give up a bit of that control as your kids get older and they start participating in sports with different parents acting as coaches and stuff. You have to give over that ability to do that, right?
That's a time where we've stepped in. We're like,
Sure.
hey, with the coach
Yep.
who we just saw, and even other parents were commenting, like, wow, they're really digging into your girl.
Yeah.
And we've stood up for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll stand up for themselves, but in this situation, it made it worse. And so we had to step in,
Yeah.
and that did make it better. So I guess what's your red line? Like, I think, yeah, in the moment, I would definitely always take my girl's side. I'm always telling parents, we got to take our kid's side, even if the teachers are calling home and saying your kid, like, we always have to be supportive and on their side. They've already been punished once in school.
Yeah. What am I going to do again?
But I've also it's interesting. I've got a couple things coming up. On the one hand, before I became a psychologist, I was a frontline worker. When I was going through university and stuff, I was a frontline worker working with autistic kiddos. And I had one little girl who looked very similar. So beautiful. She had blonde hair, blue eyes, just beautiful little girl. And I would take her out to the community. She was nonverbal, so she didn't have any words. She couldn't talk. And huge temper tantrums. And so we were working on frustration tolerance and being able to stand in line. So functional skills, if her parents had to take her to the grocery store, for example, could she wait in line? I remember being at the post office once, and she had an epic meltdown, and I just have to stay really neutral. I'm not responding. I'm letting her, wait it out. And then I'm going to reinforce when she's like, I had my behavior plan. I was doing it. She was on the floor, kicking and screaming, like just flailing and screaming. And the people around looking, and I can feel the judgment. It was super easy for me because I'm not the parent. Yeah. I'm an aide. I'm like, yep, I'm just going to ride out this. I know as a parent, it would be so much harder. Oh my gosh, here's the chocolate bar. Like, just stand up, just be quiet. Right. But I just let it play out. And the woman behind me was like, aren't you going to do something? And just really kept going. I'm like, no, I'm doing exactly what I need to be doing. What kind of parenting is this? And so I did eventually say, because she just kept digging in, I'm actually not a parent. I'm working through emotion regulation stuff with an autistic child right now. And then she was quiet, right? So I think for me, it's like, you just never know. I mean, that's a different thing. I was being judged because I wasn't doing anything. Yeah. And why am I not controlling my child? And so I've had a few of those kinds of experiences.
That's a super solid way of telling someone to screw off, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah.
Because what are they going to say? Oh, okay. Well, be better at your job then. You don't know.
But it's fascinating. Like, I do exposure therapy for anxiety. And I remember going to a dog park once with a little guy who's terrified of dogs. And it's very much like, I don't know if you're going to get bit. I don't know what's going to happen, right? Let's go see what happens. Because if we reassure, that's just going to refuel the anxiety, make the anxiety stronger. And I remember going to the dog park and being like, okay, have you been bit yet? No. Okay, have you been jumped on yet? No. Okay, cool. Do you think I'm going to be bit? No, I don't know. Like, let's go see. And somebody's like, I can't believe you're saying it. Little boy, you're not going to get bit. These are all friendly dogs. Don't listen to her. I'm like, you are completely sabotaging everything that I'm doing right now. Right. And so part of me is, I see that side being on the other side, like, actually we're working through something right now. And so now you've just disrupted it. But then on the other hand, how many times have you seen kids? I've even had my own kids say, I'm being kidnapped. Help me.
Oh my God.
Murder. And they're screaming and they're saying whatever they can. Get away. Get away. I don't know you. You're not my mommy, or whatever. Right. And you see it all the time, kids screaming and an adult carrying them out, but nobody ever does anything. So what's the red line? Whether it's you stepping in when you see somebody with their own child, or another child, or our child, or do you, like, I don't know.
I think the only time, and thankfully I've never been in this situation myself either. Obviously with smoking, that's one of the ones that I'd look like a lunatic if I started trying to intervene, right? As much as disgusting as I think it is. But if I saw someone physically, like, make it to a physical, one of two things. If it was so apparent that the situation was escalating beyond just being chastised or being a parent upset with their kid, and it was just too much, I would likely step in. Or I'd say something like, hey, simmer down, like, deal with it differently, or whatever, right? The warranted, or physical, right?
Yeah.
If I saw someone actually like wind up and crack their kid, yeah, there's zero question that
I would, yeah.
right, because that's just a no-brainer,
I have
right?
to.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But you know
but
what
I
I mean,
would.
though, right?
Yeah, I would.
Those would be the lines because you're right. Everything else is up for interpretation. Maybe the relationship, some backgrounds are more expressive and volatile in how they communicate. So what looks like an insane fight to me is really just their communication style, right? And so, okay, I don't communicate like that, but cool. Everybody's cool, fine. It's tough to interpret that, but there are lines where once you cross that, okay, it's obvious. It's not just simply a different way of doing things. You've crossed that line. That would be it for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I saw someone wind up and smack their kid, guaranteed they're going to be sitting down pretty quick, right? Because it's just not tolerated. Like there's nothing a kid that could do that would warrant that, right? So yeah, that would probably be it for me. But I mean, passive aggressive comments as I'm walking by someone trashy smoking with their kid, yeah, I might throw a couple of those out, but I'm not going to do anything other than that, right? Because again, judgmental as I am, I don't really know their full situation. I don't know anything about them. I just know that that's one thing that I don't understand why you put your kid through it.
Yeah.
Vaping is another one. That one drives me nuts.
Yeah.
Watching these parents vape in the car with kids, and because it smells like watermelon, their kid's not going to get cancer. Like, come on, be better.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. But anyways, that was just a one-off question, and there's no right or wrong. It's just what are your judgmental lines? The other question I had.
Oh, that was only I thought we answered both. Okay, let's do it.
We kind of went down. This one's completely different topic, but they're two quick questions, so I figure we'll do them in an episode. So this one is, how do you, as a parent, help foster a strong social network for your kids?
That's a whole other episode.
All right, join us next time. We can do it next time.
Well, it's okay. We can do it.
Do you want we can just cut it off right here. That's the cliffhanger.
Okay.
Oh my God, did the podcast end?
Yeah, maybe let's do that because I think there's so many moving pieces, but maybe not. Maybe it's a 5
I'm gonna
answer.
be so pissed if on the next episode you answered it like 3 minutes. You're like, oh, maybe we could have done it.
Okay, let's do it then.
No, because now you'll go 40 minutes long. No, you ruined it.
Okay. I'm a ruiner of everything.
Nah.
I feel like there's more to be said about that other one, but I feel like I always take your questions sideways.
Yeah. But that's kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
If you just regurgitated what I wanted to hear, why are we doing this podcast?
Yeah.
Right? Because then every podcast would be like, no, Andy, you're the best. You're awesome. I love hanging out with you and having kids with you. That'd be every episode.
I do love having kids with you.
Awesome.
And I love you.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Hanging out with me.
I love hanging out with you.
You sure? It took you a while. It took you a while.
Oh, that's too many things for me to remember.
5 o'clock?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, it is 8 minutes to, and yeah,
Sleep. Call back to last episode.
No sleep. But yeah, no, you're a good dad.
I like this. Please go on.
Yeah.
You're a good mom. Thanks. Pretty awesome.
Sometimes.
Nah, like 97.32% of the time, you're killing it.
But Willow says, even just last night, Mom, your psychology just doesn't work on me. What you say isn't helpful. All the time, I'm hearing you are not
because you started too early.
Helpful.
She knows it. She's too smart. If we had dumb kids, you'd be like a wizard to them. How did you make me feel so much better?
Well, the difference is when I do just empathize.
Yeah.
And do nothing else for her. That's all she needs. And that's what we should all be doing anyways. But I did try sneaking in a lesson last night. Like,
it's a dangerous game to play.
No, and it wasn't a lesson. All I said was
it while she's down at the hammock with you?
Yep.
Oh boy, I know exactly why. Continue.
And then up here again, I restated it.
Oh, you doubled down.
Because, well, and I did empathize. I'm like, it's really crappy. Did she tell you?
No, I'll tell you my side of this interaction once you tell me yours.
Okay, so she was down. Essentially, it was they were playing a game. Everybody was having fun, but the other team wasn't following the rules or whatever. I don't know exactly. Something about rules. And yeah, I'm not playing anymore. And they called her something, didn't they? They called her something like,
yeah, they chirped her.
Like she's the ruiner. That wasn't it, but I can't remember. But I said, you've got a choice here, kiddo. Like I empathized with her, of course, first. And I said, you've got a choice. You can either stick by the rules and be upset about the rules and be by yourself. Just like earlier, things didn't go away according to who was sitting with who on the tube. So you decided to come home. And then what did you miss out on? You missed out on the awesome dinner. You missed out on tubing completely because it wasn't going your way. And so you missed out. So that's option A.
Yeah.
Miss out, come and hang here with me on the hammock, which I love. Or B, forget about the rules. Just go have fun. Go play the game and be with the kids and do the things that the kids are doing.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll help. And then something else later on the night happened, and she was in the bed just moping. All the kids are out there having fun, playing games. And I said, "Okay, kiddo, remember what happened already, twice already today. This is your opportunity. You're not helping. Your psychology doesn't work." I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm sorry, that wasn't helpful. I was just trying to be helpful. So you let me know if there's anything else I can do." And then I left and she came out. But what's your side of the story?
As the cleanup crew, the other parent.
See, I make mistakes all the time. I'm an expert on parenting everybody else's kids.
So I was in the boat when the decision was made to abandon her chance for a tube, and she left. I was extremely surprised when we got back and she had completely noped back to our place, right? But I'm like, "No, that's fine. She, whatever, needed some time." So we've eventually make our way back and are doing whatever we're supposed to be doing. And you were at the hammock. Everybody else was doing whatever. She was going to eat dinner though. So you had been making her mac and cheese or whatever. So I sat with her. I'm like, "I'm just going to sit with you and chill because it seems like you just need to hang out." So I got a big hug and thank you. And you're the best dad because I just needed someone to hang out with. I'm like, "Yeah, for sure, kid." And she wanders off to you. And I'm going to say 3.5, maybe 4 minutes later, she's right back up again. And
not my best parent. You know what?
Hey, I've been on the hammock side of this, so don't feel bad.
But it was late, my meds.
Yeah, no.
I was frustrated,
and I could tell.
Yeah.
Yesterday was one of those days where she just wasn't going to be able to move past whatever rigidity she had. Like it just wasn't going to happen.
And I empathize the poop out of the tube.
Totally. And I didn't. I did, but I didn't.
We're good tag teaming.
Totally. I did, but I didn't. Like, I'm like, "Oh, okay." I just didn't make a thing of it. I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, that was your choice. What do you want to do now?" Right? Like, I'm not going to dwell on the fact that you robbed yourself of tube time. Like, I don't care. I hate pulling on the tube. Sorry if you're listening. I love pulling on the tube. Spending time with my family is amazing. My kids are great. Love it all. But so she goes back from you, and I could see from the walk. I'm like, "Oh boy, she is heated." Whatever she expected to happen at the hammock did not happen the way she wanted. So yeah, she came back up and got a drink of water and sat down, and a huge sigh, like she was channeling her inner Caroline Bozenko with a sigh that big. It was massive. And I'm like, "Oh, something's coming." And I'm not saying anything, and I'm just letting her drink her water. And she bursts into tears and comes over and wraps her arms around me. "Oh, what's wrong, kid? I just need a hug, Dad." I'm like, "Okay, no problem." Then she sits down and bares her soul. And I said the exact same thing you did. I'm like, "Dude, you've got a choice. Those kids are having a fantastic time. Are you having a fantastic time today? Because it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're making it pretty shitty for yourself because you know what? They don't care. They want you to play with them, but they want to have fun more. So it's up to you if you want to come out and have a good time or not." And then she disappeared. So I don't know what happened after that.
Oh, okay.
But it was just funny that I knew she was going to you for support, and I knew exactly what you did the second I saw her turn and walk away. And I'm like, "Oh boy, someone tried to correct behavior there," is what happened there.
Yeah. And so I did do my adjective. It's really crappy, kiddo. It sucks that they're not following the rules. And so what's your choice?
Yeah.
And I just did it too prematurely.
Yeah. And that's all it is, right? She'll receive it when the time is right. But yesterday was a rough one. She was on it's tricky. It's hot. Nobody's sleeping well. There's 6 or 7 kids all vying for what they want to do. Like it's going to wear you down. But yeah, it was just, I wish I had a means of recording stuff like that when I see it. So I'm going to be like, "I'm going to play this back because look at her shoulders. Look at her heads forward. Look at how she's stomping." There you go. We'll deal with the other question next time.
Sounds good. What was the other question? Oh, social network. Ha! I remembered.
That's impressive. I guarantee you're going to have to listen to show notes on this one for us both to remember what that question is, but that'll be fine.
We should write it down, put it in your phone. Because we're going to forget.
Hey, phone. Remember it.
Alrighty.
Good day to you.
Good day.